set up the cameras.
I was wondering about that.
It's been a while since I've done this.
Oh no!
So, yo, hey Twitch.
Hi Twitch.
Watch me set up my cameras.
Hi, Twitch.
Woo!
Yeah, give us.
I'm gonna do
be
that. I'm
patient.
gonna go and watch it right now.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
there we go. Yeah, that's totally fine. My OBS is
I'm
doing this
loading Mama
thing
Monkey
recently
VR.
where it's like doesn't connect the first time all the time. So
Oh. Huh.
I was like watching
Weird.
it to see, and it of course didn't connect the first time.
Oh, that's
So
not the
hopefully
right
it is
URL.
now.
Are we streaming now?
Looks like maybe. I don't know. Do
What, drummer? Say something
comment-
embarrassing, and we'll see if
yeah.
people.
Definitely we'll see if people respond if you say something embarrassing.
Yeah.
So that's what the next quest is going to be. Thanks for telling me, M3.
It is embarrassing, but not for drummer. Oh dear. Okay, oh crud. And I just reset the damn thing. Ah. Okay. Swear to God, I know what I'm doing.
And Twitch, for anyone who thinks that
Monkey
I was
VR.
actually being serious, she hasn't told us a damn thing, unfortunately.
Nope. I'm being good.
Unfortunately.
I like my job. Not gonna give it up.
I can't say I blame you.
Yeah, I'm
yes,
not
the
gonna.
stream is streaming.
Not gonna pry on that.
Okay, what was I gonna
See
say?
that
Okay.
What do I have? Did I just destroy?
Oh.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
Okay, good. I have a marker in my hand. This is dangerous for me.
There we go. Now I'm ready.
Get it out. Get it out. Get it out.
You failed.
I know.
You fail.
All right.
No, I
so-
didn't. Trogdor's still there.
Yay, Trogdor! Okay. So Drummer is gonna give us a recap of what happened last time. It's been a little while because
In about 3
summer
weeks.
vacation sucks. Anyways,
Screw
So-
you, August.
I know,
I'm
right?
sorry.
Oh.
So here's
like
here's what happened. We were in the academy. Umara we followed Barfared up to get the Ritz cashed in. Barfared as in her cat form, which Barfared still at this point did not realize that it was Umara. Barfared pet the cat with his glove of fickle friendship, which
Alright.
caused
Of course he
Umara
did.
to hate him again. She swiped at him, ran off before we got the money. So I finished getting the money from the Ritz. Then
Oh.
happened to go sneak around the building for a little bit with Star's character, Arian. We ended up finding Reek as the headmaster wearing a hat. He completely ignored us. I went to get Sky and Jade. We couldn't find
so-
Kenny despite going to the cafeteria.
So Reek was walking. It turns out that Reek was. What did I name him?
What? Oh, Chester P. You named
No, Lester G. McGillicuddy.
McGillicuddy. That was
And
it.
he was walking down the hall and just didn't even look at you guys. Just ignored you guys as nobodies.
Yep. So I recognized him. Went to get both to find Umara, to get Summer, and to get Jade. Jade had disappeared. We still don't know where she was at. Summer was actually building her class schedule because she forgot that this was all a ploy, not actually happening. We went to the cafeteria.
So much fun.
Got some roasted pigeon and some mashed potatoes while we were there, while looking for Jade. Couldn't find her, so we all left. Decided that I left a note for Jade in the dorm room saying this is your father. Meet me at come back home when you get a chance. Something along those lines to let her know, something to say.
Right.
Keeping with the ploy, but given the idea of we went back to the inn, which is where we went to. We went back to the inn, sat down talking, found Umara. I saw Umara change back into her human form, realized she was the cat the entire time. And Umara sort of went off on Barfared, wondering why he couldn't just look for Reek and get the money. Why was he always going off doing random shit? To which point I said, I got the fucking money and I found Reek. You're the one who ran off. And Barfared is really having serious concerns about Umara right now. He thinks there might be something wrong with her because, well, she's been a bit of a bitch to him lately. Out of nowhere. And that's where we
Oh, my
cut. Is
brother
is right as
When
we were
those
fighting.
inhibitions are removed.
Sorry,
What was
I'm
that?
really excited. My brother is actually watching. I said
Oh.
something to him about
Hi, M3's
Twitch stream,
brother.
and
Hi, brother monkey.
He commented in
Hi,
the
brother
Say
monkey.
bang.
I'm a Twitch noob. Does this thing work? So, hello, brother. Yes, it works. Nice to see you on Twitch comments. I
You
was
are now
joking
known
with
as
him
Brother
earlier.
Monkey.
Brother monkey.
I found the perfect
Yes.
shirt at PAX. I gotta tell you this. Like, it's off topic, but it's like perfect. They have this shirt at PAX that says "Stream like nobody's watching," and then it's got like a little like eyeball 0, friends 0, and I'm just like, I need that shirt, and I bought that shirt. And I may be wearing that shirt every Wednesday for this session.
Nice. Nice.
But we actually have apparently like 3 people watching right now. So
Well, one of them is
one of
me.
them-
Because I opened it up to have a look, and I'm just leaving it open so you get viewers.
yeah, that's all good. Okay, all right. So, how many hours do you think it's
So-
been since you touched me with that glove in game?
I had to sit and wait for an hour for the writs to get cashed in, then
Right.
probably in about another hour. So it's been maybe 2.5, 3 at most. So there's still at least an
Okay,
hour
so
left
I
of the effect.
Still have an hour of not liking you very much. All right.
Yes. And well, to be fair, right now Barfared has a good long while probably of not liking you very much
Oh,
because
I'm certain. I'm certain this is yeah.
Thank you so much, Jason, whoever out there, for the idea for the glove of fickle friendship, because it is amazing.
and
Oh.
once a certain
Or that's where it
party
originally came from.
member
Yeah, that's my real life DM.
and once a certain party member finally tells us what the glove really does, maybe
Thank
you, Jade, for role playing it so well and being like,
Oh
I'm
my
just gonna watch the
God.
chaos. Look at her dancing. Look at her dancing.
I know. I can see now Jade's gonna what's gonna be funny is Jade's character is gonna die somehow and we'll never know what the glove does.
And Barford will keep wearing it because he thinks it's a glove of archery.
By the way, it's also
Oh.
important to note that Arian, Star's character, when I first met him, I shook his hand and it was a positive experience, and he was following me around as if I was the smartest man he'd ever met. And every plan I had was the greatest plan he'd ever heard. All of it. And then the second day we shook hands and it went the other way around, and he hated me so much so that whenever the person cashing out the writs paid me a compliment, he wasn't with me at the time. He felt a disturbance. He felt physical pain when I had a compliment paid to me.
He's like, I feel a disturbance in the force. Like
Oh.
So, yeah.
something terrible just happened. Like there's something wrong in
This
the world.
glove is just the best thing ever. I absolutely love it because it is making the game so much fun.
Oh man, though. Oh man, I'm
All right.
nervous.
Hey, it's important to note the innkeeper the effect is probably worn off on the innkeeper since we left.
Oh,
We
Definitely.
could have had a meal as well.
So,
It wore off. It actually wore off by the time you guys woke up.
No, I
Oh, the
shook his
second
hand
time.
again.
Oh, you did. Or that's right. Well,
Yeah, I got lucky and he covered our costs again, except for Arian's.
That's
Yep.
right. That's right. Because Arian wasn't happy with you.
Yeah. No, actually, Arian at that
I
point
don't
didn't
remember what it
know.
was.
He didn't know why he was so fond of me.
Yeah.
He was in utter confusion.
I don't remember. I remember the innkeeper was like, "Are you with them?" And he's like, "I just met them." And he's like, "Well, you're not their friend, then you're paying." Or something. I forget. He made some
Yeah.
sort of comment that the innkeeper made him. Anyways, it doesn't matter.
Right.
It's definitely worn
sense.
off. It's back to neutral. Like, now again,
I gotta
it's not
imagine
like-
there's a bit of a stack effect to it. So it's like there's got to be at least some residue. He remembers really liking me.
No,
Yeah, it's-
let's not go there. Because I don't think
Well-
I've had a good roll with this once.
So it's up to the individual. Basically, it's not like Men in Black where you are you enjoying that roast pigeon?
Yes. Delicious.
Where you don't remember anything, but it's more like being like say if you're really drunk one night and you kind of go off the rails a little bit and you wake up next morning, you're like, oh, was that me? Like, why did I do
The only
that?
reason-
You know, like you remember why? You remember feeling that way,
Actions,
but
yeah.
not quite why you. He won't
only
remember
reason why I
quite
would s-
why he liked you so
Right.
much.
Well, the reason why I was
Um,
going to say it stacks, and the difference between him and Umar is Umar has been traveling with me and spent more time not
Yeah.
under the gloves influence than
Omara
under it.
knows you a
Fair.
lot better than
His only interactions so far with me have been both times where the glove has caused
Yeah,
him to really like
yeah.
me. So therefore, he's not going to be.
He's
I
got
wouldn't
that
imagine he's-
natural kind of. He's got that natural kind of. You know, this guy's really cool. I don't know why, but I
Yeah,
feel like
first
you know,
impressions and all that. I've set really
Yeah.
good first impressions.
you have, yeah.
Okay.
Whereas Umara is like when you have a fight with a good friend, and you're like, you know what, and then you wake up the next day and you're like, whatever, we're cool.
Okay.
To
You
be
know.
fair, I think when Umara's under the spell negatively, I think it's more of she's being more honest with Barfared about how she feels than
Yeah.
otherwise.
Yeah.
Inhibitions
Instead of
removed.
holding things back. Yeah. All right. So you guys just finished having your discussion at the end?
Well, no, we had just gotten to the
Or-
end. I had just said to
I-
we had just had our fight where I said I found Reek and I found
Right.
Rick and I got the gold, and we were yelling. Jade wasn't there yet, so we were still
You
waiting
can
for Jade to
call
show
him
up. And of
Reek,
course,
by the way. I call him Rick because that's his actual. Or wait, no, he is Reek. You call him Rick. Right, never
that's what I
mind.
said.
Yeah, we
I
called
called
him
him Rick.
Rick.
Yeah, it's Rick. And
Yeah,
he gets
I
mad
got
because
it
his
mixed
name
up.
was
You
it's
called
not
him
Rick,
Rick.
it's Rick.
right.
So
Okay,
Yvette,
did you-
That's the insulting sounding name.
Did you tell them how you know Rick's real name or Reek's real name?
I don't know Reek's real name.
Oh, from the
Your
picture,
character
And then with
Yes.
the principal.
Yeah,
That was his real
the-
name?
that was his real name.
Oh, that could be his
as
pseudonym.
far
I
as
was
you know,
honestly
it could
no.
it could be a pseudonym, but it's a different name for him. than you know.
I knew of that name. I thought it was an alias. And no, I haven't told them anything yet because
could be.
as far as I know, they're not there yet.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Okay. It
So
could
I
be an alias.
told M3 this before
the
I went
point
looking for
being-
him.
You looked at the picture and recognized him and saw the name underneath.
No, and
You
I
remember-
did
okay,
say
just make
to
sure you remember
Umara,
that.
I said to Umara, and actually I think Jade was there when I saw this before I went searching for him. I said, this guy looks like Rick. His name is Lester P. McGillicuddy. I had actually said that when
Okay,
we were
okay.
looking, but
You
it was
did.
before I
You
took off
did.
on my own.
Yeah, you're right. And they were all confused. They're like, "What? How do you?"
They didn't believe me
Right.
because they all think Barfared's an idiot.
Okay. So
Okay.
session begin.
Okay.
Yep.
I totally
So-
cannot remember where we were going with this. Like, we got money.
So
but
I
we
yelled,
got
it's
the-
like you were yelling at me.
Yes.
We were going back to discuss what happened, and you were yelling at me because you were so mad that I was going off and doing flights of fancy instead of doing what I was supposed to do, like getting the Ritz cashed and looking for Rick. To which point I responded with, "What the fuck are you talking about? You're the one who ran off. I went and cashed the Ritz. The cash is right here. The gold is right here. And I found Rick. He is the headmaster in there. I saw him with my own two eyes."
Do you? Okay. So if you want, we can fast forward time by an hour, and let's say Umara caught up with
Okay.
Barfared and actually had that exchange
Okay.
where Umara was like, you know, what were we talking about? Right, your head's a
So
little
I want to
slightly
say during that
cloudy.
time, because we don't have Star and Summer
Right.
this round,
Oh, right.
I just feel like it would be totally in character for Summer's character. To have said while we were waiting, he's like, "Oh, I just thought of something I need to do on my schedule," and take off before we could stop her.
Yeah,
to
she's
run
got a
back to the
class that she's
school.
late for.
Yes, I like that. Yeah.
As far as
and
Star, he could have gone to his room. He still didn't like me. So.
He's still out. Yeah, the Star stormed off to his room or wherever.
No, I take it back. Star actually, the effect had worn off on Star when we found like right around the time we found Rick. That you had checked. He actually did a check to see if the effect was still, and you said the effect at that point had worn off because it had been so much earlier in the day that I touched him.
Okay.
It
Well,
was right at the same time I touched the innkeeper that I touched him with it. So he said that by now the effect is worn off. So that's why he went along with me and actually backed me up with the fact that we found Rick.
Star got a little bit disenchanted with you guys because he feels like you're not really taking his plight seriously. So he was like, you know what, I'll come back to you guys later. I got some things to do, blah, blah, blah. And he walked off to try and petition someone else in the city.
Reasonable.
Like maybe so on and so forth. So he'll be back maybe.
Jay,
I
I'm
do have
just
a
sitting
couple-
there. I'm just sitting down in the inn. Sorry, go ahead.
Due to my knowledge that my disguise spell would only last an hour, I would have had to sneak off to be able to not get seen outside of cover.
Oh, that's true.
make the switch with that thing.
I don't know where I wandered off
Storage,
to, but it would certainly have to be somewhere probably not in the building. So the
inn?
inn sounds like
Back
a
to our
valid
rooms at the inn?
direction to go. Yeah.
Yeah, back to the inn across the street. Let's just say you're hanging out in the inn and you name drop Barfared and the guy's like, oh yeah, of course you can hang out here.
Okay.
He let you stay in Barfaird's room. He's like, yeah, I can't give you a free room, but I'll let you stay in his room.
His permanently owned room. Soon enough. Soon enough.
So so after me and Umara have our blow up, and those two take off, I'm like, okay, I'm going up to my room, and I headed up to my room for a bit, and that's where, of course, I encountered Jade. There you are. Where the hell did you go?
I knew my disguise spell was going to run out, so I had to get away from where I was.
That's a good point. Okay, so to
Otherwise,
catch
I
you
just
up,
keep going magic everywhere.
fair enough. To catch you up, I got the Ritz cashed. We've got monies.
Awesome.
And also I found Rick. He is the headmaster over there. It was him in the picture. Wasn't that actual Arian and I saw him as we were walking from the upstairs, but he was wearing like the headmaster had walked right by us, completely ignored us. But it was definitely Rick in there. So he's working over at the academy.
He seems like such an idiot. How could he be the headmaster there?
I have no idea. Friends in high places. I mean,
yeah,
it could be worse.
Yeah,
I mean,
that does everything.
At least he's not
Networking.
president. So, but
Oh,
but
wow.
so I came up here. Umara is like, I don't know what's wrong with her. She blew up at me for apparently not doing exactly what I did do. That she didn't see me do. I don't know why she attacked me in cat form and ran off when we were waiting on the Ritz for some odd reason. Anyway,
She attacked you in cat form?
she was in her cat form. I didn't realize it was her at the time, and out of nowhere she attacked me, runs off while I'm waiting on the Ritz to get cash before I find Rick. And then when we got back, she yelled at me for not getting the Ritz cashed and not going to look for Rick when she's the one who ran off. It doesn't matter. It was just really weird. But anyway, she's gone off somewhere I don't know or care at this point. Summer has kind of forgotten that the whole thing of going to the school was a ploy and has gone back to complete her class schedule. I'm gonna have to go get her later,
We can retrieve her
I think.
later, yeah.
And Arian's going to talk to the magistrate to petition to get some help at his temple. So yeah,
Again.
and that's everything. Again, I wish him
Oh
luck.
shoot!
Good
Sorry.
day, sir.
Oh,
Oh
God.
no.
Yeah, that's what the magistrate's going to tell him pretty much.
And Umara keeps fiddling with the dice too. It's really annoying. I don't know what her deal is, but anyway.
She's touching the screwdriver.
I grab everything these days.
I'm just giving you crap about it. I do the same thing. I do the exact same thing, so I'm giving you crap because I do the same stuff. But anyway, so yeah, so that's the details. Did you get any other information while you were at the school before you headed out?
Their enrollment system is really cool. I can understand why Summer is, or not Summer, what's her character's name?
Clarice.
Clarice.
I can understand why Clarice is enamored by them.
Yeah. I just wish she remembered that we were doing other things. Anyway, so I guess we should go try and find Umara and find out. Maybe you can talk to her and we can figure out what our next move is.
The attempt can be made.
All right, let's head down to the. I think she's still down.
Yeah,
She
I'm
might have
just,
head back
like,
down to
in
the dining area. Let's
the
just head down
dining
there.
area with like a cup of tea. being cranky.
So when I head down, let's head down to
Trying
the
to
dining
figure
area.
out why I'm so cranky.
The tea. Do you prefer your tea sweet or hot or cold? Like whatever it
I
is,
would probably
it's
want
not
like
quite
hot chamomile tea at this point. Something
okay. It's
soothing,
like
calming.
what you get is lukewarm spearmint tea, and
Aw.
they're like, "Sorry, we're out of chamomile,"
Well, I am
and they
not
don't
leaving
sweeten
a
it.
And we're
tip.
out of hot.
So we head down.
About an hour ago, my wife got a tea, and they said, "Yeah, we brought you black and green tea just in case you wanted one or the other." It was actually 2 bags of green tea. Yeah.
So, do you want to head down to the?
Yeah.
Head down there. All right. So we head down back to the dining area and find Umara.
There's the waitress stands in front of you, like awkwardly waiting for a tip after you paid for the tea.
Awkward, awkward, awkward. Do it, do it, do it. Bye, bye, bye. You can stand there all day long.
All right, she
Hey,
walks out.
waitress, here's a tip. Bring people what they order, and not something vaguely similar.
Are you there?
Yeah, I was there. I was just
Alright, so Yvette has found
the-
us at the
doing
inn.
some entertaining in the inn. Yeah.
Did
'cause
you
I'd
did you
returned from
actually
my
yell
own
that at
solo
her?
adventure. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, 'cause I saw
She
it
turns
happen.
around.
I
She
saw her
turned
order
around.
hot
She says,
chamomile and
"I
end up getting
told
warm
her.
spinach.
I told her when she ordered we were out of chamomile. Okay, miss. Now, is there anything I can do for you? Or do you want to keep
No, I
playing
don't think
music?"
I trust you to have what I want in stock. I'm just going to continue playing music. Thank you.
And she walks off.
Wow,
Your music sucks, by the way.
Would I really forget, like, that they told me there was no chamomile?
Yeah, I kind of
What
ad lib
does
that.
this glove make me? Anyways, okay, doesn't matter. I've pissed off the
No,
waitress.
You're in a
I do not
grumpy
need
mood.
Anything else here? So,
All right. So just because she said she told you doesn't mean she did.
okay.
I mean, she's retorting to Yvette.
Oh,
So I'm
Okay.
gonna say
I
that.
almost forgot something super important. I can't believe I almost forgot the most important thing here. We found out one of M3's favorite dishes at the end too. Her favorite foods over
Oh,
there.
no!
M3's
Smashed
or
rat
Mars?
oatmeal.
Oh, no!
Yes.
No!
She asked for the cheapest
Smashed
thing on
rat
the
oatmeal.
menu.
Well, 'cause I didn't want to take advantage of, like, the innkeeper being, like, bewitched or whatever. Like, 'cause he was just, like,
You didn't know
throwing
that's what
room
was
and
going
board.
on?
I know, but my character does
He offered
not...
for something
That's
for
what's going
free.
on.
What's
Yeah,
going
my
on? Something odds
character
up.
does not want to take advantage of things. So I just said, like, what's the cheapest thing on the menu? And I didn't realize it was going to have dead rats in it. Like, wow. Next time I'm ordering, like, the
But-
third cheapest thing on the menu.
Clarice really liked it. Clarice thought it was actually pretty tasty.
Okay, you get smashed
Rats
opossums
and
too.
So,
termites.
Oh my God.
Dead eel.
So, yeah, so-
Your
wait, I have a
recommendation
question
was
though. What's the
perfect.
in-game reason? What's the in-game reason for Yvette finding us at this particular inn?
The fact she was
The
looking
ruckus of last
for.
night heard.
Well, I knew that we were going to the college.
She was looking for a college,
so-
and there's an inn right
Yeah.
near the college. So she's like, you know what? I'm gonna
This'll
get a
do.
room
And
in
if I
this
don't find you
inn.
tonight, I'll go looking for you in the morning.
Exactly.
But here you are.
I love
Yeah.
in-game coincidences like that. It works so nicely.
So
Uh,
convenient.
all
It
right.
does. And I want to point out that the reason it's across the street from the college is because of Forever Summer Sky. I was like, oh yeah, I know where it is. It's right here. Let's go on an adventure. Do across the street. Okay, we're here. I'm like, okay. Because her character's in the city, so like she would have known where everything was. So
And she
yeah.
played that joke up, and it was
I love
hilarious. And we kept
It was
so
great.
much.
I do too.
Oh,
she's
Clarice
so
is such
good.
a great character. So anyway, so okay, cool. So we have Yvette, we have Jade. So there's the. So yeah, I come over. We walk over to Umara's table. I yell over Yvette, "Hey Yvette, come here. We got some information for you."
Okay, what's been going on?
All right, Umara. I'm assuming Umara is still there, even though right now she's staring at the sky.
Yeah, sorry.
Has she been poisoned? I knew that it was bad, but it wasn't that bad, was it?
So to fill you in, we went over to the academy. We cashed in those writs that we got over in Oars Rest.
Yeah, just before I went away.
No, we got these back at the beginning.
No.
Remember when we
Oh, true.
saved when we
Yeah,
helped?
but we
when
were
helped out?
planning to bring them here.
Yeah,
before I
so
went away.
we went and cashed those in. We got a good bit of money. I did write that down, right? Please tell me I wrote that down. Yeah, we got 500 gold from the Ritz. So
Nice.
that's really nice. Then while we were there, I found a picture on the wall of the school's headmaster who looked like a really young version of Rick, with the name Lester P. McGillicuddy. Or Lester G. McGillicuddy, sorry, Lester G. McGillicuddy. And so after I cashed in the Ritz, I kind of went scouting around a little bit to find out. And sure enough, he went walking by right into the headmaster's office, and it was definitely him. So Rick is actually working over at the academy. So if
Right. Unless
if
he has
that
a
letter
double,
we
like the spy master did.
the spy master was an
Random
idiot.
twist.
Well, so was Rick, so that's possible.
So is Rick.
More total
I mean,
random
Rick is also an
twist.
idiot, so there's a good chance that
Hey,
they're doing the same
you know,
thing.
I want to point
Well-
out this is AG's fault for only giving me 9 outfit slots. That spy master thing
Yeah.
was not my fault.
Well, I will say this: he's like if
I was out of
he is a twin,
NPCs.
he looked really, really close and smelled really similar too. To be honest, he's still Stinky Rick. I'll say that much. Yeah, so we saw him head in there. And so if that letter, if we're right about that letter being addressed to talking about Kay over at the academy being Rick, then it was almost definitely Nyx who sent it.
Right.
She's X. So yeah, that's everything, and I think that's all of us caught up. We have a fifth. We have another member of our party who's kind of joined up with us. She was posing as a student at the school and forgot she was only posing. So she went back to the school. We'll have to go get her later before we head out, before we do our next thing. But I figured we can go ahead and start
Sounds
talking
like
about
she'll
what we're
fit
going
in
to do
with
next.
us very well. Just the one extra that you picked up while I was away?
Well, there's another, but I'm not sure. He's got a
Currently trying to
personal
get
problem
our
with-
help to be able to help him with his nation problem.
Yeah, he's got an orc
The
problem
nation
at a
sea?
temple. But the problem
Sorry, I
is
don't know the
that
name of that nation.
it's not a nation. It's the temple of Sass.
Which is still inside of Nation C, though, right? Like
Was
it's
it?
an
I thought it was
island
the
that's
island.
separated
C?
from B or A.
There's 3 islands to the south of the Yoster Republic where you are right now, and they were historically ruled by them, but in the past, like very long time, they've been overrun by orcs. So call them
The territory is
independent, I
lost?
guess. Yeah, the territory was lost. Yeah.
So we told him that we would try to help him out, but we had to finish our problem first. It's only been 2 days,
What
but I
is our
guess
problem again? Sorry.
figuring out what Nixon and them were up to with the whole artifact thing that we saw in the
Oops.
letter at the hotel where they were
Oh,
going to try to
accident.
kill us. What were we called? The thorn, something or other. We had a name. I can't remember what it was now.
The Thorns is what she called
Just
you.
the thorns. Yeah.
Yes.
We were trying to find out what this artifact was that she mentioned in that letter and find her basically. But yeah, so that's basically it. We have no idea where Lander went off to. He ate some mushrooms and just kind of bolted.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily a side quest. It was he ate those poisonous mushrooms and just ran off babbling about something, and you haven't seen him since.
Maybe they didn't agree with him. Sounded like upset or
And
something. Like my
They
girlfriend.
didn't agree with me when I ate some later.
and Barford was like,
No one
"Ooh."
agrees with you. You're very contrary.
Yes, I
I
am.
still love
Might as well
that
call me Mary.
moment where you saw like 10 mixes. You just
8.
had the whole
8 Nixes.
8. Okay, 8. And you had the whole inn, like half the inn looking for her.
Spider
Yeah.
8. Makes sense.
I don't even think that was the
8
intention, but I like it.
mushrooms, Saw
Yeah.
8 spiders.
Oh no, it was only
sense.
one mushroom. It only took one
Yeah,
mushroom
but you
for that
ate
effect.
it.
No,
Yeah.
8. You ate
No, I
You
totally.
ate the
I-
mushroom, and then you saw 8
8 mixes.
versions of Nyx.
Yep. And Nyx the spider lady, 8. Spiders have 8 legs. Yes, I totally intended all of that. Yes.
Oh
Totally.
God,
Yes,
I'm kidding.
perfect.
All right,
Yeah.
on
Okay,
that note,
okay.
I'm out of here. See ya. No,
Bye-bye.
no. So that's where so that's where we stand. We got to figure out what is our plan. What are we doing next?
Do we know what kind of
We came to the
artifact
academy,
we're
we-
looking for?
Let me pull
One
up that
that Nick
letter.
wants.
We still have the letter.
Yeah, it's on the pin. It's pinned on the channel.
Oh, is it pinned on the channel?
Yep. Thank you, Jade. I think it was you that did that.
All right, here it is.
Bronze, there's been a problem with
Frond.
the plan
Hey,
Your
involving
hands
access to
disappear from
Philstar.
in-game when you go
I'm
into
going
your
to take
Steam
care
menu.
of it myself, and
I
as a
don't know.
result,
Let me do it.
Reek
His
will
hands
have
disappeared.
to acquire the relic by himself.
your
No,
hands?
that's
Send
not.
some of my
Relic.
family to
I
assist.
still see your
My
hands, yeah.
sparrows reported that the
You could
thorns
probably
set
interact
out on
with
the
the
south road to Goldshore will likely pass your way in a day or two. Make sure they bed at your inn and then take care of them. Use the attached thunderstorm scroll if you must. A warning letter. Magic to a raven. Turned on the academy. Things go bad. Release the raven. So Rick will have advance warning to expedite things. Do not underestimate the thorns. P.S. If you screw up, it's going to be bad for you. All right. So Reek has probably been informed that the thing at the Hotel California, and yeah,
Such a lovely place.
problem involving access to Philstar. Take care of it myself. Reek will have to acquire the relic by himself. Okay, so Reek and some spiders are going to be trying to acquire the relic, and I
Mm.
assume we want to stop them or at least take it from them once they get it.
Yeah.
So we
Well,
need
we
to
don't
keep
even
an
know
eye
what the
on Reek.
relic is yet. So yeah. So reconnoiter.
I mean, I suppose we could ask around the academy if he's gone on like any like trips in the past couple weeks.
Or if he's planning any, because maybe he hasn't done it yet. We
Maybe.
can trail
Here's
him
an
if he does.
idea. Since you have your apparently this ability to turn into an animal,
Yep.
Sneak in and
Hopefully
look at the
don't-
record, see if he's requested any leave.
hopefully you don't get distracted and run off in the middle of it. But maybe you could go in
Actually
there
does
as
that.
a
That's not just me. That's Umara, like rolling her eyes so
Animal
hard.
instincts take over.
Just remember, I'm the one who got the stuff taken care of. You're the one who took off and ran back to the room with Summer, with Clarice. But anyways, but you could go. How small of an animal can you turn into? Can you turn into like a mouse or a rat or anything
Oh,
like
yeah,
that?
that's no problem.
Maybe see if you can get into the building in your. How long can you hold your animal form?
Well, that's a question I need to look at.
Well, I don't know
Longer
that
than a
she can
sneeze.
hold her animal form because she's it. We could hold
Longer
her
than a
animal
sleep.
form.
1 hour. So I might want something
Only
a
an
little
hour?
faster than a mouse. I don't know. Well,
Yeah.
A
Mouses
bunny.
are pretty fast.
bunny is gonna be rather
A
out of
slithery
place
snake.
though. Mouse is
Yeah, I'm just
probably
thinking
the
about
best,
if-
but I'll have to get a
Bird.
little
I'm
close.
just
to
wondering if
start.
there's a.
Ferret.
Can you? How many times a day
A
can you use it?
mongoose.
This is also a question for the characters.
A tiger.
I think it's once per long rest, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tigers are not very
I think
small.
it's twice per.
A tiny
long
Or no,
rest.
it's a spell slot,
Twice per
isn't
long.
it?
Okay. No, it's a druid.
No, it's a druid
Oh,
thing.
Yeah, it's a druid talent or whatever.
Do I have a
So
player's manual
Perk,
in
I
here?
guess. I got one.
what I was gonna say is if you. So my thought is this: if you can do that twice, if we can find out when Rick is not in,
Right.
you could turn into a mouse, sneak into his office. To be easier as a mouse than it would be there. We know. So while we were upstairs, while Aaron and I were upstairs, we went to try to check. I didn't want to go and knock on the door myself because he might recognize me. So
Right.
Arian did, since there was no chance he would know him. And what we found is that there is a like secretary's office in front of his actual office. There's two
Right.
doors to get into his office. If you can get in there, and when he's not around, and possibly get in there, search through his office, then turn back into a mouse to get back out.
Twice, and it resets after a short rest.
I've already done it once today though. So whatever I'm doing, I'm doing.
Oh, we don't have to
in
do it
animal
today. We
form.
need to find out. We need to figure out a time when he's out, anyways. I wouldn't recommend doing it right now. We know he's there right now. We need to find a time when he's not in the office.
Okay, that's fair.
So you have time. So there's.
Okay, so What's the outside of the building like?
There's.
Could a squirrel conceivably climb the outside of the building?
Yeah, it's stone, but not like it's very nice, kind of polished stone. There's some wide, kind of flared, almost half moon steps going up to a large balcony into the fancy double doors. It's a very well off academy, and it's I don't remember what floor I said his office was on. I think it was
Fifth.
fourth,
5 or
Fifth.
something high.
Okay, fifth. Okay, yeah, it's 5 high. Your typical kind of almost think Victorian, but stone architecture. A squirrel would be able to get up the outside. There's enough nooks and crannies, and like
Okay.
it's not polished marble.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
so the claws could grip.
What are the windows
Does
like?
Rick? Yeah, I was gonna ask that if his office had a window.
Well, I mean, the
Your-
headmaster's got to have a window, right? That's like.
Your typical four pane windows with with a latch, and they would basically open up outside and then have a like
Okay.
a wood beam that would keep the window up poking outwards.
Did I happen to notice whether most of them were open or closed while we were there?
Well, I mean, you can walk outside and look.
Okay, I'm gonna walk outside and
because it's across the street.
Do I need to do like a perception roll or anything?
You could
Look at
probably
windows.
You
All right,
said
do it just so you don't roll a one.
ju-
All right, you didn't roll a one.
Excellent.
Let me think.
I was gonna say this. You have one more ability for today because you have one more available.
Yeah.
You could always turn into a squirrel and go reconnoiter
Go
around the
scout.
building. Go scout the building beforehand if you
Scout
wanted
squirrel.
to. We know where the headmaster's office is in relation. We've seen it inside.
Yep.
We know the general placement of it. So you could go scout and find out all that. I mean, you'd have an
Yeah.
hour.
Yeah.
to get there and
that's
back
not a
down,
bad
I-
idea. Do a little pre-scouting and then.
See, Barford has intelligence. He's not a complete idiot.
When you always
I
have
try
to
to
say
convince
you're not a
people of
complete
that
idiot.
in real life all the time, and it just doesn't work. You just gotta give it up, Barford. Just
It's fine.
just accept it,
Okay.
like I do in real life.
All right. So I'm gonna wait till it gets. What time of day is it right now? Do you think?
I gotta imagine it was morning when we headed over there. It's been at least 5
1
hours,
PM
6
maybe?
hours. So
Early afternoon, early mid-afternoon.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
let's just do this right now. Okay, I'm heading across the street. Somewhere outside the gates, I am going to turn into a squirrel.
There's no gate.
Isn't there like
It
a
opens up
fence?
to the street. No,
Okay.
There's
it's in the middle of a
Always
large city.
no.
Okay. Is there somewhere like somewhat obscured a little bit for me to change into a squirrel?
side of the building,
I
maybe?
got super excited already. Put the
There's-
ears on.
All right, there's
Just hide 'em a little
there's a fancy hedgerow going around
Okay.
the property.
All right, I do that. Go to that. Turn into a squirrel. All right. So.
Okay.
I know sort of vaguely whereabouts in the building it is. So I am going to climb up the outside of the building.
On the opposite side. It's on the opposite side of the entrance, somewhere
Okay.
in the back.
Okay, so I'm gonna go around to the
You-
back
you-
and then
Neat.
climb up to like floor 5 and
Yep.
start sort of peeking in windows and see if I find something that looks headmastery or is filled with reek.
Okay.
Do I need to do like athletics check?
Yeah, that's a good idea, actually.
Okay.
To make sure you don't fall.
Do I get like a bonus as a squirrel? Because this is like I picked the animal based on good at climbing.
No, because you didn't like.
Oh.
Okay, well,
You haven't been a squirrel your whole life.
can I do acrobatics instead of athletics?
That seems more appropriate for the climb. Yeah.
Holy fucking hell. So I fall off.
You are not a squirrel
I got a
acrobat.
5.
You got a 5.
A 5.
Okay, so you start to clamber up the first story, and you fall down, and you take 4 damage.
Oh, wait, am I in line of sight?
No,
No,
'cause
you're
I've
back
gone
at the
around
end.
the back of the building.
Okay.
Oh hey, this works now. I didn't need to replace my whiteboard today. Yay, bug fixes.
And nobody notices or cares about a random squirrel trying to climb the
That's good.
building and
But
falling
event
down
crashed.
after 2 stories and falling down.
Okay.
You
Oh my
killed the
god, I
vet.
totally just screwed this up. Okay. I'm gonna try again.
Okay.
6.
Fall down again, and you take 2 damage.
Okay. Alright. Okay. 3rd time's the charm. No, wait. This is going to the bad dice corner. I want a different d20.
Here, you want this one? Okay.
You lose. Good day,
That was
sir.
my dice.
16!
You have finally don't have a problem. You find some good footholds and you climb up to the 5th floor, and there's a bit of a ledge up there running along the windows
Okay.
that you can walk along.
Alright. Do I need to, like, investigation check or anything to look for Reek's office?
Well, you go to the first window and you look in, and it's an office, and there's appears to be a couple people you don't recognize in there at desks
Okay.
filling out papers.
Alright. Next!
As you go to the next one, there is a couple pigeons on the
Oh, shit.
ledge in your way, and they pop up and start cooing their asses off in your face.
Okay, I'm gonna chitter at them annoyedly and do that thing where I fluff my tail.
Okay, roll intimidation.
Will you do what to your tail?
You know, like fluff it. Oh god.
Fluff her
Your
tail.
hair's no longer red.
Oh, fluff. That's not what I heard.
Okay.
Bet.
I didn't hear it
Okay.
either. I
I'm
heard, I think, what you
-1 on
heard.
intimidation, and I'm a squirrel.
I heard the odd thing, yes.
Oh, that didn't work. It's against something. 16!
The pigeons both take large shits on the ledge and then fly off.
Excellent. I continue along the ledge.
Okay, you step in pigeon shit along
I
the
was
ledge.
waiting for it.
Oh,
Yep.
damn.
See that?
I was hoping she didn't be like, I'm careful to avoid the pigeon shit.
Yep.
Yeah, should have seen that one.
You go to the next window. You go to the next window and you see this.
I am not going to chitter annoyedly at that guy.
The window is closed, by the way.
Okay. I'm gonna just sort of push on it a little bit with my paw to see if there's like any movement or anything.
Okay.
While I'm okay.
There's no movement.
Okay.
You're pushing in. There's no movement.
Okay. Is there anything like sticking? Like, is the stuff like flat, or is there like anything I might be able to get like my claws under?
Let me look at character sheet. It's a very well made window.
Okay. Yeah.
The character
There's
sheet
not a
of the
lot
window.
of there's not a lot of seam. If you want to, you know what? I will allow you to roll. Wish there was a luck. I guess that doesn't really apply.
Investigation.
I
or
I mean, the
sleight of
roll of the
hand?
die is the luck.
Yeah, I was gonna say sleight of hand.
Sneak. Stealth.
Inside.
I just don't like not allowing an action without a dice roll because I feel like anything you could conceivably try,
Yeah.
and it's possible that you could get your claws underneath, a seam in a window.
Well, just think of a challenge rating in your head on a 1 to 20 scale.
All right, got it.
14.
You can almost feel a crease, and you're kind of grabbing at it a little bit, but it just chips away at the wood at the edge.
Okay. Yeah.
And the window doesn't budge.
Okay. So I don't think I'm gonna be getting in this way. Seems like probably.
Have you made it
not
back
gonna
yet?
Work. No, haven't made it back yet. Can I
Because
like
Barfared
sort of,
has an idea that
peer
might work.
around the office and is there anything that looks like a giant sign pointing at something saying, "Hey, this is the relic you're looking for"?
There's no giant sign saying, "Hey, this is the hey Thorns, this is the relic you're looking for in case you guys show up." No.
Anything
How inconvenient.
wrapped in cloth or suspicious looking at all?
So there's a desk. He's sitting at the desk in a chair. You see the back of his head poking up.
Yeah.
And he's clearly, writing something. It's your pretty typical normal fancy office. There's a large painting of him and Nick's together. There's a large painting of some old dude. And there's a couple chairs in front of the desk, fancy, well-crafted wooden chairs. It's polished marble floor. He's got a box, kind of an open top box to the left on the desk with some papers in it. There's another small stack of papers on the other side. There's ink and quill and sand on the desk as well. Nothing really stands out as out of the ordinary.
Okay. Can I tell from looking in the window which way the assistant's room is? Like the secretary's room? Would it also
Yes,
have a window, or would it be further into the building?
It's further into the building. If the window is here and this is the room, the door to the secretary's office is right here.
Okay, so it's not like there's
It's
a window to her
directly
room.
in front of the desk.
Okay.
Right, her room is windowless, and you guys noticed that. You know that from when you first.
Well, I wasn't
went
talking to
into
him
the-
earlier, so.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry. I forgot if you were there or not, but it is windowless, and you can deduce that it is highly likely that whatever's on the other side of the door from his room is window. It doesn't have a window, so it's probably either a hall. You're guessing probably hallway or secretary's office.
Okay. All right. I am going to try and get back down, hopefully safely. Another acrobatics for
Jump.
that.
Jump.
Yep. Another acrobatics.
Oh,
You
fuck.
lose!
Oh.
Good day, sir!
Oh,
You lose.
No,
Good day,
I
madam.
lose.
Okay, so you
I
go to
lose.
crawl off the ledge, and the pigeons come back, and they smack you. They fly down and peck you right as you're about to crawl down, and you fall the whole way,
Oh god.
and you take 18 damage on the way down.
Holy moly. Okay. Well, that's...
And then the pigeons fly down, and one of them. What's your AC?
14? Oh god.
One of them tries to dive bomb you with the bird shit and barely misses. It goes right past. He misjudged it, and it.
That's good, because I
angles
really
past
don't
it.
want my character to die by getting pooped on while a squirrel. And I gotta
That
tell
would be
you,
the.
she's really
Oh.
close. So
That would be the greatest D&D
On a scale of
death
1 to-
How many
ever.
hit points? Yeah, how many hit points do you have
On a
left?
scale of 1 to 27,
3 hit
how
points
damaged
left.
do you feel? Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
you're
God.
gonna. You know what? I'm just gonna say right now, you're about to have a reason to really hate Barford when you show back up.
Oh God,
Oh,
no.
God.
All right.
Oh,
So after the
Barford is
dive
going to
bomb,
say something because I
after the
imagine you're
dive
gonna be
bomb
looking pretty
crap
beat up.
attack,
Okay.
the pigeon veers off and goes back up to the ledge.
I run to the nearest
and-
hedge, that
Okay.
surrounds the school, and get just
It's
on
not
the
far. Yeah.
outside of it and turn back into a human.
Okay. You have one of your legs is broken. Both of your arms are
What?
broken. You have 3 hit
It was
points. You're in bad
full.
shape.
Christ. Okay.
And you lost those hit points by falling.
Right. I'm just representing the state of your character.
Okay. Well, I
Yeah,
guess I'm
so-
just gonna
so what
sit here because I'm not getting anywhere with a broken leg and 2 broken arms.
Well, let me. All right, yeah. So let me backtrack on that. Both your arms are broken. One leg
Okay.
is sprained. Let me say that.
Okay.
You can hobble back.
You can't sprint, but I'll give you walking speed for full action.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna hobble
But
my
there's
way
no
back
combat,
towards
so-
the inn. So.
A good Samaritan sees you hurting and comes up. You okay? Do you need a
You need a random
medic or something?
costume button.
I do.
I'm just I had a bad fall. I'm going to
Yeah,
see
it
my
looks like
friend.
it.
I think she can help me.
Where is she?
Just over at that inn over there.
Oh, okay. And they help you. They like grab you. You can put your arm around the shoulder.
And I visibly
As
wince
best you
as they
can.
try and get my arm over the shoulder. I'm like,
Yeah, it's not great. Both your wrists are in really bad shape. And you hobble across the street and you get back to the inn successfully with the help of the Good Samaritan.
So I imagine we're sitting there when you come in, waiting.
okay.
So, oh hey, I think Amara's back. Holy shit! What the fuck happened to her?
He's in bad shape.
Can you guys get the mistletoe out of my bag?
Go
What
rummage through a
happened?
bag and get the mistletoe for her.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Good
I
Berry.
found it, I think.
So that gives me lets me create 10 of these berries that'll heal a hit point each.
Right.
So and I'm
I
gonna
can
eat
also
all
play
of
a
them.
Song of Rest to help you.
Okay, well I got myself back up to 13.
Okay, so you eat the berries and yay magic. Your wrists kind of mend. It's kind of painful. So basically, you've got a couple of sprained wrists now,
Okay.
and the sprained ankle remains.
Yeah, I
So
want
The
some
healing
How did
was
you get away so
prioritized on the
badly?
worst injury.
God
Weren't you just gonna go and run up the wall
You tried
as
doing
a squirrel? What happened?
You tried doing it with things attacking you.
You got
Attacking me?
attacked?
What do they have? Do they have defenses out there?
I just think I should rest now at this point.
So if you're
Is there
getting
something we should be
did-
worried about? Like
against
somebody that
anyone,
might be
so
coming
against-
for us?
No.
What was it attacked you?
no. Just, I mean, I'm a
was
squirrel. They
pigeons.
see me as prey.
She doesn't want to admit what happened. I love it.
What saw you as prey? What was it like?
A
Was it a fox?
bird.
Or was it like
Was it a
No,
cat?
A bird attacked
crows?
me. Yeah,
eagle?
it was
Eagle?
crows. No, it was definitely
An owl.
crows.
You were
She
attacked by
should
an
have to
owl,
roll
which
for
they're
that to
nighttime
find out if we
hunters.
believe or
All
not.
right,
Oh,
roll
yeah.
against it. Yeah, all right,
Deception.
roll deception
Check one.
against their
Check one.
against their
It was
against
like
their
tilted.
insight.
It was a 12.
It's our insight.
Yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
all of you roll
So-
insight. She got
14.
okay. She got 14.
15.
20.
9. I buy it.
Okay. Jade is 100% sure, based on what you've noticed walking around the city. There are no crows here. Have seen no crows. You've seen a lot of pigeons. You know exactly what happened, or you suspect.
Okay.
Yvette, you think she's you get a feeling that she's holding something
Not quite
back.
telling
Or
the truth.
right. Barfared believes her.
Yep. I was like, oh damn, crows. That sucks.
Yeah, it was not super fun. Anyways,
You should avoid them in the future.
I don't think the plan to get in by crawling up the outside is going to work. The windows are very solid. I could not get a grip on them. He's
Well,
there.
they have
He's in the
attack crows
office.
apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I was thinking while you were gone, there's no guarantee that he's storing it in the headmaster's office anyway. Like, does he sleep there? Does he live in the college, or does he have like a room?
There was nothing
Does he have a
obvious
house?
in the room, but I thought the plan was to try and find out if he had done any traveling or was planning any traveling.
True.
Pigeons, just to verify, before I say anything, you said when we went to check the place out that this was if I remember, or I may be getting confused on another place, but you said it was like it was his room, his office, secretary's office, and his quarters as well, right? Like it was a bedroom and all that too, right?
You never got past the secretary's office.
Well, you said the setup of what the room layout was. Whenever we went, but I didn't see it. Star would have seen it.
He didn't. Right, Star would have seen it, and he didn't tell you.
Was there enough space up there to be able to go to human form?
On the ledge? No, I don't believe so.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and if there's birds,
it was about a
attacking,
foot.
you don't want to fall in that form.
It was about like this.
I'm not
Okay.
comfortable doing that.
Yeah.
Considering what happened last time, no, it's like if you falling as a squirrel, I imagine did a lot of damage. Falling as a human would probably be fatal.
Yeah, it was not really fun.
Falling as a crow gives you flight.
I can't do birds.
Oh.
It's a little too
Alright,
complex
well, I mean,
for me.
if there's going to be paperwork about him taking time off from work, it's probably more likely to be in the secretary's office than actually in his headmaster office, I would expect, or in some kind of admin area.
I'm just wondering if there's any paperwork about his search. Like, even if it's not the relic, I'm wondering if
Yeah.
there's anything in his office that about any of his notes or anything like that of him actually searching for said relic.
Well, I mean, I'd be inclined to think that if it's to do with
You lose.
something like searching for
Good
magical
day,
relics
sir.
for nefarious purposes, it's not going to be stored in the headmaster office. It's going to be somewhere else. No, he's going to just have actual
Yeah.
headmaster stuff going on in the headmaster office.
Well, I wonder if we can find out where the
But
headmaster.
then again,
actually
he's not very
lives.
smart, so maybe not. Yeah, I'd
wonder
like
if we
to know
can- I
where
wonder-
he goes to sleep and stuff.
You know, whenever he's out of the building, like we should watch to see if when he leaves the building. When he does, one of us can
we
head
should
up.
totally trail him. Yeah, we got to stalk him.
Well, someone could stalk him, but I was going to say go up and ask the secretary. I was like, I don't think any of us should do it unless we're under disguise because he might recognize us from previous events, the Goblin Olympics and Or's Rest. But we may be able to go up and just ask the secretary, hey, where does the headmaster actually live? It's like, is he here? No, he's not here.
The
I was like,
headmaster.
okay.
Is he here? Yes.
Yeah. And then find out, it's like, oh, he's not here. Okay, well, where does he live at? Could, maybe try and find him out in town and find out where he stays when he's not there.
That might work.
So
Maybe we could ask the
I
secretary what his general hours are. So then, if we know
that too,
when
yeah.
he's likely to be in the office, we know when he's likely to be leaving, and we
That
can follow
might-
him to
That
find
might
where he is.
allow
Because they might not want to give us his home address.
having someone go in disguise might also allow me to sneak in mouse form because I've been worried about since the windows
can just carry
and
you
the
with us.
building is so well made. I don't know that there would be room under the doors for me to get in as a mouse. But if
Are the
someone-
windows? Is it possible to open the windows at all?
I believe so, but I can't do it from the outside.
Well, that's fine. I was just wondering if it would be possible for you to open them from the inside to sneak back out, squirrel form or whatever, or something like that, to get back
That
out of the
may
building.
work.
Well, you've already made the objective of being inside it, though, at that point.
What?
Well, you've already made it inside for the objective at that point.
Right, but she's still got to get
Yeah,
back
but
out.
if,
Oh,
like, if one of
human
us
form
were to go
open,
into the
walk out.
principal's office
It's
and
an
leave her
escape
there,
route potential. Gotcha.
then once he was gone, she could turn back to human form and rifle through
But
things. And then
but if we know that
leave.
Rick's going to be out for a couple hours, if the secretary says that he's gone for the night or whatever, that could give you plenty of time to really kind of search the office.
Right.
Keep talking. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right, so
Bye.
the only one of us with, well, actually, I don't know. Yvette, do you have the ability to do disguise? I can't remember.
I sure do.
Ooh.
I'm a bard.
Do you want to?
And I actually have a disguise kit and everything. Yeah, it's one of my things.
Okay.
I can definitely do that.
Well, Jade, you've already used your disguise today.
No. I've used a spell slot today. I have 4 spell slots.
Okay. Well, either one of you could go up and actually talk to the, like, do the initial, just talk to the thing. I mean, Umara might be able to sneak in during that period if she wants to, but if they're already, well, she can't change anymore today anyways. She's already used up her last turn. So right now we could just get some information, find out when he's usually there. We might want to wait to see if, what?
A student asking would make sense.
That's true, and you are technically a student now.
Yes. I mean, if you wanted an
I wish
outsider, I could be
Yeah.
like an adventurer. Potentially, he might have been looking for more help to go on his venture for this relic, and I could have been responding to, some call that he put out for adventurers to help him go and do the thing. So I could come up to the secretary's office and be like, "I am the great and powerful such and such. I'm here to help
Well, let's start
Rick
with.
on his extracurricular activities."
I'd say let's
Yeah.
start with the student, and
I
then
a
don't know
simple
that I would
direction first.
start with that if we don't know for sure that he has put out a call for help on his
No, that's why I'm
adventure.
saying start with the other one
Okay.
first. Start with the student.
Okay.
Okay.
So we need to make sure that he's not there when you go ask. Because if you go ask what the hours are, they say, "Oh, he's here right now." You can see him. That doesn't really get us information.
Well, unless you have a reason to see him that you could actually go along with.
Mm.
But it wouldn't
have a
give us the
contingency.
information. We're trying to find out when he's not there.
Sure. Yeah. Turn up in the middle of the night. And the secretary
LOL.
also isn't there.
No, but we can keep an eye out. It's getting near the end of the day. We can keep an eye out to see if we see him leave the building. We can just kind
I
of
do like
camp
that
out,
plan.
So
Do you notice any other
Just sit
exits while
outside.
you were looking, going around the building?
I don't know.
Yes, there's.
Well, there's a good chance that he has lights in his room and that he'll put them out when he leaves.
There's a
We could just
rear
watch that
exit,
window, and when it goes dark, we could go and ask.
and
Well,
there's
that's if he-
exits on all 4 sides, but they're not nearly as gaudy as the main entrance. They're just one single door. They look like servants.
that doesn't mean he's
Exits
actually
and
gone though.
entrances.
No,
Should we
true.
go, each of us take one exit?
Sure,
All right.
All right.
fine with that.
So you guys
So-
are camping out?
Yeah, so if you see
Yeah,
him
we're just gonna
leave,
kinda
go
watch the building.
clockwise around the school and collect everyone else. So that they're not...
Darn it! I wish I had a costume with the really curly mustaches. Like I don a fake mustache, so he doesn't recognize.
Okay.
I ask Yvette, can I borrow a mustache from her disguise kit?
In theory, if we're standing on opposite corners, we could watch 2 exits at once. That way we don't have to split up to 4 different locations. We'd split up to 2
True.
locations.
How far apart are the exits?
Good question.
It's a pretty large building. It takes
Yeah.
up what would think like almost a city block.
Okay.
I think that's
It's a large academy.
Yeah, I think we
Like,
should
you
all
could-
maybe just.
You could see someone exiting from the entrances, but fine details could be lost at that distance.
Cool.
Well, time to split the party.
Not necessarily would be,
That's all
but could
good.
be.
Yeah, just all split up and just pick an exit and just sit there and watch.
Okay.
Is there any preference for who's going to which exit? Any good reasons why certain of us should have the main entrance or the Servants, entrances, and so on.
Jade went in disguise yesterday. It might be good to have her in her regular.
Student.
No, not as a student, but just like
Oh,
have Jade with her like regular face, just like hanging out somewhere by the main entrance. Either that or you, because they
Okay.
don't know either of you. Whereas Barford was in there yesterday, so if he's
Well, I
hanging out
mean,
around the main entrance,
Stinky Rick
someone
knows
might
me.
recognize him. Oh, right.
And Stinky Rick really knows
I could go
Jade
in
because Jade got
disguise.
captured.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I don't have any more disguises or anything left for the day.
They're not going to recognize me.
So
I've got a
I'm gonna-
mustache.
Okay.
I can take the front.
All right. I'll take one of the side entrances.
Okay.
I have another costume I could burn on the front.
Yeah, but it's only going to last for an hour. It's like this could be
Yeah.
longer
Burning
than an hour.
costumes. What, you're going to have some kind of protest at the university?
Yes.
I'm using this emote so much. I'm definitely not gonna risk forgetting it when we do the play.
Oh, that was the
I
camera.
totally missed you doing the emote.
This.
Suddenly
Okay.
camera.
For you Twitch streamers who can't see it.
Does that show up on the Twitch stream? I don't know if faces do on the third person cameras.
I don't think
I
the
have no
bubble does, but his
Let's have a
facial
look.
expression
It does.
will.
I see it. Yep.
Oh,
Does
does
it?
it?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I just had a
Well,
look.
We can all
Well,
end the
you know
Twitch
what?
stream like this
I was
today.
wrong. All right.
Bye.
Okay, it
Oh, wait, maybe
is
only yours
like
does.
11 at night for Drummer. Do we want to go and watch the exits this session or hold that off to next session?
Or just get ready to. Yeah.
I'd say hold that off for next session. Maybe we'll have Summer. Maybe I'll have Clarice back, and we can have one more person helping us watch.
I was gonna say I'll leave that up to you guys. So
Yeah, let's get ready for it.
Have
for
you
next
had
time.
sufficient healing for yourself?
I'm
Yeah,
still
we can
at
have a short
13
rest and
out
I
of
can get you some extra
27.
healing.
You're
Yeah,
half
so have a
dead.
short. Let's have a short
I am
rest
half dead.
at which you can.
I can see your watch.
Because I've got. Let me read out the spell that I have here. Not the spell, the
Oh,
ability I have. Song of Rest. Beginning at second level, you can use soothing music or oration to help revitalize your wounded allies during a short rest. If you or any friendly creatures who can hear your performance regains hit points at the end of the short rest, each of those creatures regains an extra 1d6 hit points.
okay. So how long's the short rest? Like
So
4
you can get an
hours, right?
4 hours.
So, okay, if we were doing this like it would be like 2 in the afternoon. Do I have enough
Short
time
rest
to
gets us
short
to
Or
dinner.
rest
rest
before we
6
think
at night.
Rick is gonna leave?
you know what? I'll be generous and say it's 1.
Then
Okay.
yeah,
So it'd be
'cause 5 o'clock
Alright.
would be the perfect time to be
Okay,
getting there. 'Cause that's
I
when
will happily take your music.
I'll be nice about that.
Only 2 extra hit points.
So well, what it says is that
You also
says
get your rest, HP.
if you or any friendly creatures who can hear your performance regain hit points at the end of the short rest, they gain an extra 1d6 hit points.
I don't actually know
So
if I
there's meant to be
regain
hit points that you
at the
regain
end
for
of
doing a short rest or something.
Are you a... I was going to say
don't
human,
know.
but like... I think everybody does. All things do.
We don't generally do short rests in my other games, so I actually have no clue.
Yeah, we
The
tend to just go straight to
only-
long rests here as well.
Yeah, well, the only time I've ever really done short rests is, or paid attention to, is some spells or abilities
Short rest is
will
a period of downtime at least 1
recharge
hour
after.
long during which the character does nothing more strenuous than eating, drinking, reading, and tending to wounds.
Okay, at least 1 hour long. Okay, so, screw the 4 hour thing. It's 2 in the afternoon. It's now 3. You played your song for an hour. You guys relaxed. There you go.
Yeah.
Now it's 3 in
Is
the
there
afternoon.
anything in there
you
about
sat there stretching out your
automatically
Yeah,
wrists
regaining hit
to
points
try
so
to
much?
relieve the sprain.
Yeah, was there anything about healing at that point? Because I don't...
I see hit
Tending
die
to wounds.
1d6, but I don't know, I don't understand. There's
Oh,
also
can I-
recovery
can I,
box.
I think
like,
maybe you
spend a
regain
hit die?
1d6.
Oh, hit dies reset maybe on
Can I use a hit
I'm
die
sure about
to...
what a rest does then.
Resting 186. Here I was thinking I should have had my monster manual instead of
Eh.
my player's book. Right.
Monster
you
Manual,
didn't
what
hear
chance
that?
is there that we're going to meet any monsters? You know, we spent a whole session crossing a strait or planning to watch a building.
You know what? Umara met a couple terrifying monsters that almost killed her.
Yep.
True.
Almost.
I can't wait to have a private
Jesus,
conversation
almost
with her
died
about
by
Yeah,
that.
those ravenous owls, they're a menace.
Crows.
Okay.
I thought you said they were ravens. Oh,
Okay,
no,
so
crows.
Umara,
Oh no, eagles.
addition-
Eagles.
in
Well, I
addition
thought
to
they were
what
owls.
Yvette just rolled,
Wasn't it?
Okay.
a character can spend one or more hit dice at the end of their short rest, up to the character's maximum number of hit dice,
Okay.
which is equal to
equal
the
to the character's
character's level. So you're level 4. So what are your
I
hit
need
dice per level?
D8.
Spent 4 hit dice.
Okay,
Okay,
so D8 plus your Constitution.
Okay.
Modifier.
1. What's my Constitution modifier? Ooh, +3. Okay, so that gives me 4.
-2.
Okay. 4, 6, 9. Okay.
And you have hit dice equal to
19,
your level.
21, 20. Okay. So I've used 3 of my hit dice, and I'm back at full health.
It looks like after each roll, you get to decide if you want to spend an additional roll.
Yep, that's what I was doing.
Yep. And so you have one more hit dice before a long rest to use on a short rest to regain,
Okay.
essentially.
Do those hit dice have any other use besides recovery?
From the context I read, and as far as I'm concerned, no. I'm guessing it's
Cool.
like, I'm hurt, short rest, let me use 2 hit dice, and then you go out and you adventure more, another fight, oh, I'm hurt again, I have 2 more hit dice to recover with,
Okay.
as a level 4.
So you're back to normal now.
I should talk to Forever Summer Sky about something we were discussing last week at the office for D&D.
Oh, yes, you should. Yes.
Something that came to mind is I think
You
I'd
should
like
tell
a way
us
to be able
about
to
this
hold
after
a
you
die
turn off the
After
Twitch
we
and
stream.
be able to
Twitch
decide I
stream.
want it to be a different die.
Okay. All right. So, okay.
Maybe there's just some of the
I'm
die you
healed.
want.
I think we're gonna wrap it up there for the
Yes.
week.
Yep.
So
Yep.
everyone get ready with your board face. All right. We will see you next week, Twitch.
Wow.
VR
Board
Nerd
face?
Night.
Come on.
Apparently, we're very boring. So, anyways, okay. All right. Bye, Twitch.
Bye.